In one of the other videos, I mentioned that the special insulated underground or above ground pipe is $6.50 a foot. I bought 175 feet, so that was a lot of money. So I need an extra 40. And you can make your own, and it comes out to be $3.40 a foot, but it's a little time consuming. So first step is straighten the PEX pipe out, because it comes in a roll and is nasty twisted. So you got to get it fairly straight. Pipe insulation, 1-inch pipe insulation, and then duct insulation. And I'm going to create an assembly and then show you what it looks like. So first phase is to straighten. Not easy, to be honest. We're doing it in the house because it's warm. It's cold outside. Plastic won't bend in the cold. Individual 1-inch pipe insulation, and the pipes tied together for convenience, and then wrapped in the 1 foot wide, 15 foot long duct insulation. So pipe insulation is R3, duct insulation is R6. Yes, I've compressed the insulation around the pipe so it won't give the full R6, but I am somewhere short of R9, which should be good. Left the end exposed to make it easy to connect, and left the bend at the end in order for it to snake upwards to where it has to go. Got to finish this off, drag it under the house, and get the thing plumbed in. That took a little longer than anticipated. I'd say hour and a half. But it's all done, double insulated, ready to be drug out of the house. Straightened a little more when it sat in the sun for a while, and laid under the house and plumbed in. So I am good with that at $3.50 a foot. So today is the day that I fit my pre-assembled, beautifully insulated under-house water supply from the outdoor wood furnace to my wonderfully solidly installed heat exchanger in the existing HVAC system. So there's one additional complication here that I would not have done, which is that the copper pipe that you see had already been fitted to the heat exchanger by a previous owner. But although it looks complicated, it isn't if you explain it step by step. So here are the two lines, hot and return, with shut-off valves. Here are the two lines that go to the geothermal loop underground outside. With these two shut and these two open, the water flows through the heat exchanger and back to the loop, and in the other direction with these closed and these open, the water flows through the intercooler and back to the wood furnace. This is a bypass if ever I wanted to need one, and this is a shut-off on the supply side to the heat exchanger if ever I wanted to shut off the heat exchanger and bypass it, maintaining the flow but allowing me to work on the heat exchanger if ever that happened. Sorry, that was off camera. This is the valve I was talking about. So bypass, disconnect for heat exchanger, geothermal loop, and main supply. So pretty straightforward. It's taken maybe 45 minutes to do it, something like that. But that's the furnace end. Now I'm going to jump down to the hot water end, or middle I should call it, and then outside to the wood furnace. Well, here I am at what I called the midpoint for the hot water heater. That's the end of the variable pipes, and here of course is the insulated extension. First thing you got to do is drill a hole through the floor and poke something through that you can see, so that you know where the water heater is. In my case, it's all the way down there. So what I got to do is simply connect these and then go down there and splice into the main feed. Well, that splice is pretty quick and easy. Yes, I marked whichever one I'm calling red for supply at both ends, so I know I'm not going to get confused. Just going to insulate this and move on to where the hot water heater comes into play. I like the fact that the supplier provided a string all the way down the pipe, so if ever I have to pull a power cord, is what I was thinking, down the pipe rather than direct bury it, I could have got regular Romex, saved a bit of money. But never mind, I didn't know that it was taped up at both ends, couldn't see it. A couple of interesting things when you splice in the hot water heat exchanger. Those are the two lines that are running to it, but as you may know, it's not hot and cold, it's hot and hot. So the first heat exchanger in the system is the water heater, and then the hot water returns back to the main flow to the main heat exchanger. The reason I've cut through both is not because I forgot, it's because on this type of PEX Berry line there is zero availability of space to do anything, plus the type of snippers that I use for PEX overhang the end just very slightly, and it's easy to nick the cold when you're trying to cut just the red, just the hot. One thing that I noticed though is that whilst I appreciate it being tight and robust, I'm not convinced that this insulation is that great, to be honest, because it's rated extremely highly, yet it's highly compressed, and compressed insulation is typically not very good. But anyway, I'm going to insulate this up, and I'm done for this. All right, well, that's it. Insulated, finished. Got to go up into the closet upstairs and sort out the last connection. But I can leave my wonderful crawl space. 150 feet long. It's a long way to bring stuff, a long way to crawl, and pretty miserable. So today, which is day 4, I'm going to hook the pump up, hook the pumps and plumb in the furnace and power up the furnace, and then it'll all be done. So I'm looking forward to that. But on the right hand side we have a loop which was and will be for our workshop. That was for underfloor heating. On the left hand side is a larger pump, which I'm guessing was his circulation for his house, because that was a longer run. That's what I would do if it was me, put in the larger pump for the long run. And that's a little easier to plumb in because it's a little more distant from where the inflexible lines come in. So let me see if I can sort that out. Maybe I can bend the return. Yeah, return is flexible, so that could come over. But let's see what I can come up with and keep it neat and tidy, and as fewer 90-degree bends as possible to help the flow. Power is easy. Power comes out of the ground the same place. I'll just pop that in there, stick a breaker in the house, and away we go. That's finished. So 2 circulation pumps, one there, separately switched. Both are off right now because I've got no fluid in the system. The hot has a pipe drain because I want to fill it from there, so I'm filling after the pump, so that after I'm done I'll have just a short section of air in that short pipe. Return, of course, goes to the top of the tank, and the tank is vented, so there's no need for a vent valve. That second system over there will wait like that for quite a while until we have the workshop built. Tank drain and shut off for the above the pump, and a shut off below the pump. My guess is that his pumps were constantly failing. He says leave it on all the time, 24 hours a day, all year round. I don't subscribe to that, I don't think, but I will see. Maybe I'll leave it running all the time. It is one way to circulate coolish water through the system, but we will have the geo loop circulating 50-degree water from the other end of the house. This in the wintertime will be left on for sure all the time, because it's the way to stop the water from freezing. By circulating it, of course, you're moving it, but also you're moving house air over the radiator in the house, and then circulate, back feeding basically a little bit of heat out here if the fire goes out. If the fire does not go out, of course, we'll keep it going. Also, with the water at 160 something degrees, it takes a long time to cool down to have any risk of freezing, even if the circ pump is not on. So anyway, this end is now finished and done. Got to button it up, tidy up, and then sort out the hot water heat exchanger, which is this thing. And I've got to take that in the house, see what I need, and probably go to Lowe's again. So now is the time to plug in, hook up the hot water heat exchanger. So here's the hot water coming in from the wood stove. Right hand side is in, you could call it. Left is out. And then of course there's the cold supply, which we bypass. And I gotta cut through and rotate a bunch of stuff. Let's start by mounting the heat exchanger and then figure the rest out. I think I'll do away with the copper that's on it, use nothing but PEX. It's also a lot cheaper to not have to use the shark bite, so I'm going to do the 1-inch lines first. Oh, I can't believe it, it's 2:30 on day 4 and it is finally finished. So there's the heat exchanger plumbed in. I had to do it in a slightly goofy way, only because I was short of fittings. I wanted to go 1 inch. So, but anyway. So it's plumbed into the cold water feed for the electric heater. And the function of it is to preheat the cold water before it goes into the tank, therefore saving you juice in your heater, having to heat it up. The longer you have a shower, the warmer your system gets. Little tiny heat exchanger, but functions really well apparently. So that is it. That is all the plumbing complete. I just have to go into the crawl space and pop a breaker in the panel and juice up the furnace, and it's all done. $1,000 in parts, in miscellaneous parts to do the installation. $1,300 for the variable PEX pipe. So close to $2,500 just in miscellaneous parts to install the system. So, but it's done. It's all done.